The Tea Party is nothing new. This, of all the messages, everybody said, "Oh, the Tea Party is this brand new thing. This guy who was standing in the Chicago Board of Exchange, he's got Santinelli. What is it? Rick Santinelli is some guy with an Italian name, and he says, we need a Tea Party, No, there's nothing new about this. The activism that we're seeing from the Tea Party radicals in Washington, and frankly all around the country today, and especially down in the South, is just a modern-day reboot of the same government obstructionist strategies that have, frankly, been around since the early days when there was a pushback against slavery. President John Adams, the second president of the United States, he had a son, John Quincy Adams. John Quincy Adams became, I think, the sixth president of the United States. I'd have to go through at the count on my fingers, but after he ended his presidency, he went back and ran for the House of Representatives so that in the 1830s he could be a congressman and battle slavery. That's what John Quincy Adams did. And that was in the 1830s. And there was like this really, the founding generation was dead. And there was this huge battle going on over slavery that led right straight to the Civil War. And it led right straight to the first big primary emergence of what we, those of us of a certain age would remember as the Klan, and today you could call the Tea Party. From the battles over segregation and discrimination in the 50s and 60s, to the war on voting rights that's being pushed by ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council, and state capitals all across our nation today. These Tea Party-esque strategies and their values have repeatedly, throughout American history, over and over and over again, they keep rearing their ugly heads. Great article in Salon magazine, salon.com. Chuck Thompson wrote this thing, and it went up, I think, yesterday. And it says, just to quote a little bit from Chuck Thompson, because he says it so eloquently. He says, quote, today's Tea Party strategy is, quote, the same old obstructionist strategy that's been pursued by traitorous Southerners in government since long before Robert E. Lee's doomed charge at Gettysburg. Thompson says it's part of the same soiled fabric that stretches from John C. Calhoun and South Carolina's 1832 Ordinance of Nullification all the way to the Newt Gingrich-led government shutdown. End of quote. This is the bottom line. Today's Tea Party is the 21st century incarnation of the angry 19th century, 1800s, white male Confederates who wanted to secede from the United States and start their own dysfunctional country based on a plantation economy. So here's an idea. Maybe we should let them do it. In fact, maybe we should make it easier for them. Make it easier for Ted Cruz and Michelle Bachmann and the rest of their Tea Party friends who are all freaked out about, we got a black president in the White House and he's a socialist. Maybe he's from Kenya and he's Muslim. Come on. Just let them start their own plantation economy style country. Or maybe we should just leave them behind and the blue states should secede. This idea, by the way, of the northern industrialized states seceding from the rest of the country, saying, hey, you guys with your slavery and your Jim Crow laws and your literacy test to vote and all of you guys are crazy. We're leaving. This is nothing new. Back in 1814, 1815, the Hartford Convention took place. In Hartford, Connecticut, a group of people met to discuss their growing grievances that were actually provoked by the War of 1812 and their disagreements over slavery. Those of the convention were they discussed changing policies like the Three-Fifths Compromise, which even though slaves couldn't vote, 3/5 of them were counted for purposes of representation in Congress so that the slave states would have more power in Congress. And they also came up with the idea that there should be a 2/3 supermajority for the admission of new states, for declarations of war, got that, and for any laws restricting trade. Now, ultimately, the New England secession collapsed. Didn't happen. They got drowned out by the moderates. And all that talk of Northern secession was dropped. But do you think it's possible it's time for a new Hartford Convention? What would an America free of Southern lunacy and Tea Party radicalism look like? I mean, first, the disastrous... I would just consider, if we could reinvent America, if we could say, okay, we are going to leave behind the mistakes that we've made, and we're going to reboot this country. First thing, in my opinion, that we should do is we should say the Supreme Court, actually, I'd blow out the whole judicial review thing, but short of that, at least say Citizens United is toast. I mean, in the modern 21st century America, you'd think it would be fairly clear that corporations are not actually people and that money is property. It's not speech. Similarly, we should say, billionaires, you want to buy politicians? I mean, the McCutcheon case, is it McCutcheon? Yeah, McCutcheon, that was argued before the Supreme Court last week about how billionaires should be able to buy even more politicians than they can right now. And Scalia's like, yeah, well, $3 million, that's nothing. Right? I think in the new America, we would say politicians can't buy billionaires can't buy politicians. In fact, maybe we'd even say no more billionaires. Go to nobillionaires.com. You can check it out. Well, let's have a wealth tax so that the billionaires can't continue to corrupt democracy in our political process. And then consider all the incredibly destructive policy decisions that came along with Ronald Reagan and the so-called Reagan Revolution. He stopped enforcing the Sherman Antitrust Act. Let's put it back into place so that shopping centers all over America are now filled once again with small local businesses. The downtowns are small local businesses. So there isn't a McDonald's or a Taco Bell or a Dairy Queen or a Olive Garden or a Macy's on every corner, that every store is locally owned. Let's reboot the fairness doctrine so that the media actually has to cover the news instead of programming infotainment to increase profits. Let's eliminate disastrous trade policies like NAFTA and the WTO. Yeah, I know those happened during the Clinton administration. The real push for it started, though, during the Reagan administration. Let's go back to the protectionist tariff-based trade policies that George Washington put into place and Ronald Reagan began taking apart. And the Medicare eligibility age at 65 right now, you got the Pete Petersons of the world saying, let's raise it up to 67, right? Let's lower it to 0, to birth. If you're born, you immediately get Medicare. Instant national single-payer healthcare system. John Conyers has been pushing this for years. It's a piece of legislation. It's like 2 pages long. I mean, it's just very simple. Everybody's eligible for Medicare. Period. End of discussion. If we could accomplish this, America would reflect a 21st century vision of what I believe are actually the ideals and visions of many of, at least the more progressive among the founders. Go read Thomas Paine's Agrarian Justice sometime. If it takes a secession of blue state America to achieve this, so be it. Time to let the small-minded bigots go back to their plantation-style economies and run their states like third-world countries while the rest of us get moving on creating a perfect union and looking out for the general welfare of the United States.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
You know, like it says in the preamble to the Constitution. What a novel idea. Anyhow, what do you think? Should we secede? We'd leave behind a lot of good people.